Hey everybody, Mr. JK here, and I am so sorry. I meant to record this video. Well, yeah, I meant to record this video the week it came out, but I got lazy like I always have. I'm so sorry, everybody.
There's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
And I even left comments out talking about I'm gonna do a reaction to this, and yeah. So, anyways, that's that. So, yeah, sorry about that.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Apologies, this video was meant to come out some time ago. So yeah, we're getting to it. This is Kamen Rider GEATS. It's basically Squid Game with superpowers, which is an apt description. I have seen this series in its entirety. This is one of my favorite ones that I've seen so far, Kamen Rider GEATS. Some would say this ain't really their favorites, and that's really up to them. So yeah, I'm basically making this video absolutely entirely because of the absolute nonsense that's been going on right now. The killing of Charlie Kirk. My heart goes out to his family. Yeah, that's just diabolical, man. Like, regardless of what side of the political aisle you're on, like, he didn't deserve that. He really didn't. Anyways, that's enough doom and gloom. Let's get to this video in 3, 2, 1.
This is about to be an easy win.
Unbeknownst
Also, the link to this video will be down in the description below.
to him, this boss sees in Call of Duty split screen vision, meaning he's a problem. Boy teleport the buffer, hit him with the
Oh no, my boy hit him with the 10-hit combo.
on a beach with a mysterious woman approaching a man saying,
Yeah, Ace,
congratulations,
you're now a Kamen Rider. You can now participate in the DGP or the Desire Grand Prix.
Kamen Rider now. And the man in question is actually our main.
It is funny. I've been hearing this a lot. Basically, it's like this motherfucker is like a Tendo 2.0. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there's another writer who almost has a similar type of style and personality to him, and that writer is Kamen Rider Kabuto,
protagonist known as GEATS.
aka the star of the stars of the star, aka Mr. Zesty Fest.
And he looks at Shouty and nods and says,
You're goddamn right.
he's chosen to be part of this big game known as the Desire Grand Prix. But we'll get to that in a moment. We actually need to cut over to another one of our main protagonists known as Kiwa, who just botched his job in.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's funny because even though it starts off like that, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of insight with me and like specific characters. Kayla is my favorite Kamen Rider in the series. Simply because this motherfucker cannot catch a break, and when he does catch a break, it's not for very long. And there's an event that happens that like absolutely does this man dirty so horribly later on. That's where my favorite fucking character in this series. And the funny thing is, like, despite us starting off meeting Ace for the first time, we actually start off the series with mostly his point of view. And it's like, you know, it's funny. You can almost like just instinctually think he's the main character. He's the main character because Kayla, like, Ace to me doesn't feel like the main character as much as he does in this series. Because I think it's because we start off from his point of view and like no one else's for the most part.
Interview, but that's nothing a good bowl of ramen can't fix until even that goes wrong. Talk about a bad day. As a whole bunch of big-headed monsters start wreaking havoc all over the place, trying to take our boy out, causing him and another woman to be caught up in the crosshairs. But luckily for them,
yeah, that's called Nyan.
Kamen Riders appear. First one equipped with an arrow is a polar bear Kamen Rider, and the next one is, oh my, oh look at that design.
I knew, man. I knew you was gonna sit for this motherfucker suit. God damn. But his is a pretty sweet suit.
The purple detailing, the crossed eyes, the whole
full ass Patrick Bateman. Look at it. Look at the fucking purple design of this. Oh my god. It's even got a watermark. Oh my god. It's even got a watermark.
Wait a minute. Is this me? Yo, it's either me or we got another violator on the loose.
I mean, Buffa technically is that dude.
Yeah, I can already tell you who finna be my favorite in this season. Oh, and if he wasn't cool enough, they gave him one of those Warhammer 40K chainsaw swords.
Oh, yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
But of course, these two Kamen Riders were able to knock out the minions swiftly and get these two pedestrians to safety. But even though there's minions afoot, these two Kamen Riders have the time to talk ish to each other about who's gonna win the Grand Prix. As they're arguing about points and rankings and showboating. But I can tell you right now, one of these Kamen Riders isn't gonna be part of this equation anymore.
Oh my God, how?
Oh, no, they done took the polar bear out quick. He didn't even get a sacrifice. He done got snuck by a slug. But luckily for everyone, the main character has arrived as Ace reveals that he is Kamen Rider GEATS. And I ain't gonna lie, the design.
Yeah, like, out of all these dudes, like, dude, fuck, dude. Why do you have to have the most fucking gorgeous fit ever? Like, this fucking design with, by the way, fun fact about how their drivers works is that, they have two. It is one blank buckle with like Jesus Christ, could you stop? That's never gonna get annoying. That's never not gonna be annoying. Yeah, so yeah, getting back to what I was saying. One of the things that I like about GEATS is how they tackle like suit design and drivers wise. Like, whereas all these other riders, like they initially start off with a full suit. And that's not to say their suits aren't full. It's just specifically, it's like this. How the Desire Driver works, that's what it is, the Desire Driver. How it works is that the driver itself alone doesn't make you a Kamen Rider. It's the power, it's the core, it's the power core that's put into the driver that determines what Kamen Rider you are. This is gonna get annoying. How do I just freaking out of here, bro? I don't know what's going on here or why it's doing it, but yeah. Anyways, that's gonna get annoying so fast. Anyways, that's throwing me off. That's throwing me off. Yeah. So basically, Desire Driver, thing that really the driver itself doesn't make a person a Kamen Rider. It's the core that's placed into the driver that determines what Kamen Rider you are in this series. And you're given the Desire Driver along with the core. In case of Ace, he was given the GEATS core and along with his Desire Driver. And the GEATS core, it basically looks like, as you already know, it's the animal theme going on. So his GEATS would be a fox, which is his whole gimmick here. And that enough about the driver. Going on to the suit itself, because I went off topic and went on a tangent about the driver. Well, it's tying into the driver, but specifically, the suits itself or the driver itself is just the core and nothing else attached with it. And putting in the core, effectively put it on the core and put it on the belt, puts you into entry form, which has just the helmet, but nothing else. No top half, no bottom half. And the only way you get this type of design he's got going on here is if you have a buckle on the driver, and the buckles actually fill in the rest of the design for the suit, which is awesome because it's like it's like they're actually putting on their arm. Like, I'll say it's like they're wearing, like, I would say the entry form is like chainmail, and then the driver, the buckles are like the armor itself. And that's what I like about these designs. Like, they're just like, you can take them off and match the designs, which is awesome from the drivers. And then the right half of the driver, or it'll be left for you, but the right half of the side of the driver is the top half. So if you put a buckle right here, it fills in the top. You put the other buckle on the left, it fills in the bottom. And you'll see soon enough.
Inspired. I believe it's inspired by one of those Kitsuna Yoke.
Yeah, his whole gimmick, his whole theme is that he's based off the nine-tailed fox. Yes.
And it is a perfect match for our character's foxy nature. Oh, the thing even come with its own blicky. Nah, bro really aired out the place fast.
Nah, it's not that the driver itself comes with it. He had to literally get that. Like, it doesn't, like I was talking about the buckle thing, as you can see right here, on his belt. This is the I believe Magnum buckle, and that gives him this design right here.
Faster than a joke redacted. Joke redacted. And bro, if you know these shows, these boys can turn whatever gun into another gun. As man done put a barrel on this thing and turned it to a sniper. As he started camp blasting the giant kaiju in the sky, and I will let you know now, he could have done more damage with a laser tag gun. But he realized that this technique is not working, and he's gonna have to switch things up. Literally, yes, he does one of those emotions.
The revolve on.
Full transitions I've ever seen. Oh, I mean, I see.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the show, I was like, huh, what in the blue hell am I looking at? I'm like, huh? That is weird. That looks uncomfortable.
It flipped your colors around, but boy, is it worth it? Nah, Michael Bay must have been in the special effects department for this one. But either way, this is the power-up he needed to tackle this monster, and oh no, their fault. But actually, that was
he's good.
He's planned to get on this kaiju's back somehow. And as he wreaked havoc on it, he prepared for a kick to knock this man out of existence.
Here's a boost grand victory.
It's taking down this
Magnum boost grand victory. Yeah. That sums up right real fast, and it's like ore farm.
Like seriously. Oh my god. It's so freaking cool.
But with that, Kamen Rider
ore farming
becomes the
like the ore farming in this fucking series is absolutely everywhere
of this Desire Grand Prix. But when a winner like GEATS is crowned, all the damage the Jamotos have done is reset, people are brought back, and the world is reset as a whole, allowing the winner of each tournament to rewrite the world the way they see fit. And what was Kamen Rider's GEATS wish? Well, just to be rich and famous. Yeah, this is the best time to tell you that Kamen Rider GEATS is going to be a lot different from the other protagonists that
Like if you thought this motherfucker was selfish, this not him. Like though funny you should use these two, because these two are like as ironic as it is, the first Heisei Rider and the 19th Heisei Rider. Like these two personalities, these dudes' personalities could not be more diametrically opposed. Fucking Yusuke and fucking Sento's personalities could not be any more diametrically opposed. Like, but they do share that core idea of like saving lives, despite one being more selfish than the other.
Covered on this channel. But don't think that the story ends here, as our boy is alive.
Yeah, this man is if Sento is selfish, this man's like the definition. If Sento is narcissistic, this man's the literal definition of narcissistic.
To go to the tournament as much as he wants, as long as he doesn't die. And I preface that
but narcissistic in a fun way,
as Kiwa and a whole myriad of other people are chosen as the next Kamen Rider participants for the next Desire Grand Prix. But if you're liking the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe as we get to the next chapter of this video. But yeah, a lot happened that first episode.
I fucking love Trust Last. This is the opening of the series. And I'm gonna give you another cool fun fact, by the way. I believe his name is Yuya Takahashi. Is the head writer for the show. For those of you who don't know who Yuya Takahashi is, he was the head writer for X8, 01, and GEATS, and currently, the newest Kamen Rider that is out now, which you can check out, is Kamen Rider GEATS. He's also the head writer for the newest current Kamen Rider right now. So yeah, this man's got has four writers under his belt, or 4 writer shows under his belt. For his 18th writer, which was the 18th Heisei Rider, then he's kicked off the Reiwa era with 01. And by the way, if Shaman, if you listen to this video, I highly recommend doing 01 next. I highly recommend doing 01 next, man. 01, like, I don't know if you might like 01, but like 01 is actually a really good one too. In my opinion, some people say like they don't like 01. Me personally, I fucking love 01. Like, even though like kind of like when it was near the end of the series and the coup happened and they had to like speed up production and stuff like that. Yeah, despite all that, I love 01. But yeah, yeah, just to diametrically opposed. Like, fucking love this opening. Trust Last. Trust Last is such a good song.
But I think it's a good time now to start explaining a lot of what's going on to you as all the contestants have been gathered. First, let's note some of the main characters that we'll be following for it, which will be 4 in particular. Of course, we have Ace, aka Kamen Rider GEATS.
Ace Ukyo.
Being our main Kamen Rider. Kiwa, who will
Kiwa, which I forgot his last name. I'm sorry, my man. I forgot your last name.
Be known as Kamen Rider Tycoon. My boy Mishinaga.
By the way, you want to talk about Orphan? Wait till you get to that fucking scene with Tycoon. If he does it in his video. Yeah, Buffa.
AKA Buffa, you know, say the violator. You know, I'm gonna show a little favoritism. And Neophone, you know.
Oh, why? Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like her too.
She gotta be the cat girl Kamen Rider, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay, we going in. I'm not gonna lie, I slightly gooned at her too.
Notable ones for now, as we also have a whole myriad of other contestants that will be coming in and out, as we have 30 contestants fighting in this Grand Prix to make their wishes come true. But you've either heard me say Grand Prix or Desire Grand Prix a few times now, and I'm pretty sure you're curious on what I'm actually talking about. Well, the curators actually start explaining this to combatants, and I'll break this down the best way I can to you. See, mysterious invaders known as Jamoto are invading Earth, but we don't know why. So the Desire Grand Prix was formed to combat against them, and we still don't know much about it or the people that are organizing it. But in layman's terms, this is how we get a Kamen Rider Battle Royale. Oh, and I know you started hitting your favorite Fortnite emo when I said that, but it is a Battle Royale just like Fortnite or the Hunger Games, but with game mechanics kind of like Alice in Borderland. But yeah, that's a cool concept, but why would average random people fight and risk their lives in such a game? Well, that's where you need a great motivator, and where better else than pulling something straight out of the Fate series, just like the—
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it is just like the Holy Grail Wars.
The Holy Grail, you are able to wish for anything you want, even reshaping the world.
Well, you know what's funny? Speaking of that, okay, stick with me for a sec, because that whole gimmick of something fulfilling your desires, or being in some type of tournament fulfilling your desires. Well, not so much tournament thing, but like the whole doing something to fulfill your desires. That gimmick, funny enough, the Holy Grail gimmick, was also used in Persona 5. Sorry. But the Holy Grail, funny enough, speaking of Face Day Night, that whole the Holy Grail granting wishes, same concept in fucking Persona 5. Not the Battle Royale aspect, but like the Holy Grail granting wishes. Isn't it ironic?
The way you see fit. When I say that these wishes can be anything, I mean it. We go from one guy who wants to wish for world peace, all the way to another crazy guy who wants to erase all of humanity because he broke his leg one time. My boy, you could have just wished for that to never happen. I'm just saying, when your first option is to go full Scarlet Witch, you probably need to think about some more options. But now that they're caught up and you're caught up, let's get into the first game for these contestants, as they get dropped in with no suits and have to fight all these monsters barehanded. But people like GEATS and Buffa, who are no stranger to this, are able to beat the loot boxes out of these guys. And no, that is not a hyperbole. These are actually loot boxes.
Yeah.
Loot boxes contain things known as rise buckles. That's
rise
basically
buckles.
the way that our Kamen Riders get new weapons and equipment. And these things can vary wildly, from a big overpowered suit of armor able to one-shot bosses, or end up like GEATS and get a water gun. Yeah, boy, this thing feels real pay to win, I ain't gonna lie to you. So yeah, quality may vary, but everything is pretty usable in some extent, especially in the right hand. But with that quick scrap, the first round of the first game is over, and oh my god, what happened to the other contestants? Bro, that was only the first round, and we're already full of people. This
Nago or Neon Kurama.
thing is not balanced, and there is no time to mourn, as these contestants get thrown in straight into round 2, this time at least starting in their Kamen Rider forms. And as you can see, these things are kind of naked. Well, that's where the gimmick of the series
the gimmick, fucking love this gimmick.
because the only notable feature that will remain constant with these Kamen Riders are their headpieces, as they will be
for anyone who doesn't know, this is what I was talking about. This is entry form,
switching armor pieces and sets,
which is effectively just a base form,
a lot through this show, which I gotta say I like, because you get to see a myriad of infinite combinations. Take for example when the Owl Kamen Rider that met with the mini boss and got blown all the way down to a river bay, and Kiwa, just trying to help out, watching this man die in front of him, decides to ask GEATS for help, and GEATS is like, all right Brody, I'll help you, but you gotta give me that rare piece you got. So man, it
wasn't so much him helping him. It was more so him tricking him into getting the belt.
GEATS,
it was more so him like duping him into giving him the boost buckle.
Able to turn into Ken right in front of us with every kick he throw turning into fire. We even got the water gun doing magic now. And he ends up doing that very painful looking transformer sequence. But now having more context on it, this is actually a way to make your armor pieces flip-flop position. So instead of our boy being stuck with a water gun, he's able to bring it to his legs and now becomes a straight up water bender. Which, in realizing this, makes me love the gimmick and mechanic of this show even more. As you can see, there's even more limitless amount of potential between the armor pieces that each Kamen Rider has, and is really dependent on the creativity of each Kamen Rider to see what they can do with it. But of course, with this power up, he is able to punch a hole straight through this monster, and Tycoon is very thankful. But he approaches GEATS like, yo sir, can I please get my piece back now, please? This is where GEATS has to break it down to him that the buckle that he has was only
a one-time use.
good for a one-time use. So GEATS, being the fox that he is, just tricked this man into using the one tool that he had. And this will be the best part for me to rip the band-aid off for you and let you know now that Kamen Rider GEATS is kind of a dick, which is a real change of pace for the other Kamen Riders.
I mean, he's also a bit of a dick
that we've covered thus far, but I find it funny and refreshing, so I'm here for it. But with that, GEATS is the winner of the first game, and with that, we get to spend a little time with some of the remaining Kamen Riders that we have, as they can go back to their real lives and doing what they need.
And the funny thing is, like, despite, like, here's the thing, he's effectively an asshole with a heart of gold
To do, or they can chill in this nice little R&R.
He may be a dick to them, but it's funny because like that's what I like about his character. It's like you can't tell if he's a friend or a foe sometimes, and that's what I like about his character. It's like, God damn it, like why do you have to be a lovable asshole? I fucking hate you.
Area that even has its own charming butler. And oh snap, we even get a little bit of diversity this season. Okay, GEATS. With that, let's get into the second game of this tournament, which was straight up Call of Duty Zombies. GEATS and Buffa, like two guys talking ish in a Call of Duty lobby, start taking bets like, yo bro, if I rank higher than you, I get to have your armor piece. How about that? Oh, and Buffa, the type that never back down, says, okay, I'll bet that up, and instantly loses it after the first wave. But it's a good thing that GEATS got this from Buffa, because as the second wave started, things started to go left quick, as the new polar bear Kamen Rider was losing his ish and tried to kill Neon, which, to know, attacking another Kamen Rider contestant loses you points. But man didn't care, since he was bit by a zombie, he was trying to take everyone down with him. And if you could tell this is the guy that wished for the world to die because he broke his leg, you would be right. Luckily for Neon, GEATS knows how to save the booty, and he started whooping everybody behind. Nah, this polar bear thought he wanted to smoke, but he wasn't ready for what GEATS was dishing out. Man even had to try to snipe my boy, but GEATS is so far with it. He hit that painful looking transformation, dodged the bullet, then kicked the zombie up to block this guy's view of sight and knocked the stupid out of this man. But sadly, either way, this madman did accomplish what he wanted to do and got Neon bit, which for her means the time is ticking. There is some good news that GEATS gives, saying that, hey, if we can finish this game in time, it will reverse all damages that these guys do, probably even the zombification. But Neon Sadin feels like, hey, just in case I don't make it, I have some things to say to my mother. So she starts come marching in, and her mom gives her a nice Now, this really doesn't have to do much with the story. I just really wouldn't have had to seen it. But yeah, back to the games. Even though this guy tried to sabotage them, our heroes were able to defeat all of the zombies, saving Neon. But because this guy was trying to sabotage them the whole time, he was no longer fit to be a Kamen Rider, being what they called retired. But with Neon saved and the crazy guy out of here, it's time for the third game of this Grand Prix. And this is where the tournament turns from a Grand Prix into Big Brother, as a whole bunch of drama and backstabbing starts to happen. Because for this game, each contestants are paired up in groups of 2. But as you can see, there's only 5 of them, meaning one of them gets the short end of the straw, getting paired up with a character known as Punk Jack, a guy who's mute and cannot take off his mask, which is really bad since this game is card themed and it really depends on your communication skills with your partner to solve it. And I'm just gotta say, these little villain guys are really starting to grow on me. I mean, they're really down for the bit. They really done took and dressed up as one of them Alice in Wonderland card guys. But the team trying to figure out what they're supposed to do just go in for the attack, trying to destroy these monsters, and Eva Buffa trying to do a point blank shot does not kill these guys. And
I remember the gimmick. Like it's like a I forgot that matching game where it's like you gotta hit 2 cards that match with each other in order to win, and that's basically what they're doing, except they gotta work as a team to do so.
Gonna have to start realizing the real rules of the game, but because of this failure, it starts to
and it's one of the reasons why I think Buffalo like switched.
Get at some of the team, forcing them to communicate, which Tycoon and Buffa start having an actual heart-to-heart on some things, where Buffa reveals that he's kind of more of a cold character because of what has happened in previous games, where he has seen some
he
of
lost his friend
die to these other
Kamen Riders,
and tells Tycoon if he wants to survive, he's gonna have to toughen up, and he'll have to do it quick because Mary, the other Kamen Rider, decides that he doesn't want Punk Jack as a member no more and wants to switch teams. And he gets what he wishes for by paying for it, and leaves Tycoon at a major disadvantage because he's partnered with Punk Jack now, and that he gave his piece that he got from this game over to GEATS so he could help get Buffa's piece back. But Buffa, really have growing a relationship with Tycoon, doesn't want this to be his end, and feels like Mary does not fit for this tournament, and decides to betray him and partner back up with Tycoon. And as they figure out that they need to pair the cards together, are able to overcome this game, knocking Mary and Punk out of the tournament. But with our final 4 protagonists standing, it is time for them to handle the final boss and to see who's gonna win this iteration of the Grand.
And it's at this point in time, which I don't know if he'll get to it, but he will. I'm pretty sure he will.
Grand Prix. So when these boys hop off,
let's just say this is the moment in the show where Tycoon, although it comes too late, actually steps the fuck up
the battle bus and drop down to the new location, they come to find out that the boss is a little underwhelming. Emphasis on the little. Oh, and Buffa thinking to himself like,
this is about to be an easy win.
Unbeknownst to him, this boss sees in Call of Duty split screen vision, meaning he's a problem. Boy teleport to Buffa, hit him with the
10-hit combo.
Nah, he hit Buffa so hard he wasn't even sure if he was one of the protagonists anymore. He was like, yo, am I a one-off character? Please, no. Nah, this little gremlin's fast. Luckily, they don't have to catch him, as the game for him is kick the can. So the 4 riders are like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy. They dive on in. But the tournament advisors forgot to tell them the other rule, where this thing is pretty much a can of Monster Energy, and if the final boss takes it, he can do stuff like this. Nah, he don't really put his hands on
it's
people like, nah, you're not that
bro, as soon as I was like, why do you wait this long to tell somebody?
You're not that guy. Oh, and our Kamen Riders realize they ain't gonna be able to do this solo, and they gotta team up. GEATS pulls up to Tycoon out of battle, being like, yo, bro, I'm gonna need you to put your all into the next one. Trust me, bro. And Tycoon, trusting GEATS for some reason, decides to put everything he has into fighting the boss, just to be revealed that he was the decoy for the mission, just so GEATS could get a new armor piece. So let me iterate this again. GEATS is kind of a
You know, you were hella wrong for what you did. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And yeah, because of Geats' power-up, he was able to kick the can, but it didn't matter because the monster caught the can, denying them the victory. But Tycoon, feeling so betrayed by Geats, says, I am not gonna trust you for the rest of my life, which sadly is long. As when they pull up to the monster yet again, Tycoon ends up taking the brunt of the force that the monster is unleashing. And Geats try to use our boy as a decoy again so he could get a licking on the monster. Luckily, that Buckles said,
well, to go into more detail about this, if you want, like, if you don't want me, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I'm sorry for anybody that's I spoiled, but spoilers here. I really should have put that. No, I'm going to put that in the beginning of the video. I'm going to say, like, I'm going to spoil some stuff, by the way. Yeah, anyways, yeah, so to give you a little bit more context here, Kayla's sister gets because yeah, I had to explain how this game works. So basically, the Jamoto goes around, anybody in the area gets, I think, taken by this Jamoto is added to that tree thing you saw, and those people were converted and turned into like its fucking juice, if you will. And Kayla's sister got kidnapped, and which causes him ultimately, it was like they were having a conversation in there talking about, hey, like we need to stop. This shouldn't be about points anymore. Like, we gotta help these people. And it's like, Ace kind of like, I wouldn't say stop them per se, but more or less like tells them how it is, which is simply this. And it's like, well, here's the thing. And like, I think they all like just went like, no, I'm not gonna help you despite innocent people being in danger. And Kayla, and this is why I like Kayla as a character, because like out of everybody there, he's the most he was the most common writer out of everybody there. And Ace to a degree too, but like Kayla's like the common Kayla, funny enough, like he would be almost similar to like someone like old common writers from like back in the Heisei era. Like what's his name? Yusuke Godai. Like he would match Yusuke Godai like down to a T. Like, he is the quintessential Kamen Rider in terms of personality and wanting to help people. And this ultimately comes to bite him in the ass, but he does it anyway. And this is why I say it's like, this is one of my favorite episodes and one of the saddest episodes ever, because like it takes moments like this to like for him to go like, what's more important? And this is why I say I like Kayla's character, because it's like, what's more important? My dream, my desire, or my sister's life? And he, being who he is, decides she's more important than more important than fulfilling any desire. She's more important. And he decides willingly this time to make himself the decoy. So it's more or less he chose willingly to become the decoy, because like he knows ultimately, I was like, and this is what Ace kind of like slightly calls them out for by saying it's like, no one's wrong in doing what they're doing, or like no one's wrong and no one's right in what they're doing. And everybody to some degree in this thing has been selfish. And to some degree, you were selfish too. You can't say that. And basically what you're asking everybody here to do is give up on their dream, effectively. And which is why nobody wanted to come up with go with this idea, knowing they're gonna lose their chance. They're gonna lose their chance. And it is at this point in time that Kayla, despite everything, actually proves Ace wrong about him in a weird way, that he's not just selfish. No, he's not as selfish as he thinks he is. Yes, and I think it's one of the reasons why I think Ace likes him as much as he cares to let on. Like I think firmly, like, it's funny because we talk about like I hate to use the term best matches in this case. Like, Kayla and Ace are like a complete best match, because like that's the point. They're supposed to be foils to each other. We got a person that's doing things for a selfish reason, and someone is doing it for a selfish. The main character is doing something in this whole thing for a selfish reason. I'm not going to reveal what his reason for being in a desire. Ace's reason for being in a desire Grand Prix is, but it's like the juxtaposition: the selfish person and the selfless person. And it's ironic because we were talking about this whole gimmick of Ace being based off of yokai kitsune, which is a trickster spirit. And funny enough, ironically enough, Kayla being getting another animal that is also associated with being a trickster spirit in Japanese mythology is that Kayla is Kamen Rider Tycoon, which is he's supposed to be based off of a raccoon or a raccoon dog specifically, which is another or a tanuki, if you will, which is another animal that's often has mythological things around it associated with them. So it's ironic that, and I believe these two animals diametrically oppose each other too, funnily enough, despite both of them being trickster spirits. But yeah, enough of that. Like, going on to like this moment right here, getting to this moment right here. It's because at this moment in time that Kayla decides to effectively say, fuck it, we ball, and I'm fully willing to give up my spot in all this just to save my sister. I want to save my sister. My desires are less important than her. And it's because of this loyalty and this ability to just endure is what caused this moment to happen, where this buckle, as you'll see soon enough, goes from Ace using it, like rejecting him, and going straight to Kayla because it chose him. And I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, but I'm gonna let him continue here.
Denied and equipped itself onto Tycoon as it sought him as the rightful owner of the piece. And boys, when I tell you this thing done turned him into a real life shonin of the Elite Village, I am not saying this as a hyperbole, as man uses the log version of the substitution jutsu straight from the anime. And oh yeah, our boy was feeling the power up. He was dang near Naruto running into Area 51 with it. Oh nah, man was really putting work over here on Cactus Jack. Poison Ivy would have been pissed what she would see being done to this plant. Boy was schmoving across, man, easy breeze, but with putting his all into
he just brought out, so it's a good spot to I know like I just said this not too long ago, but I'm bringing it up now. So yeah, basically it's at this point in time that Kayla, the reason the buckle chose him, and this is actually a gimmick in the show, and it's practically like the Harry Potter wand chooses the wizard type situation. If you read depending on the person's personality and what they're willing to achieve, the buckle, depending on what type of buckle, and I think it's these type of buckles in particular, like these bigger buckles, will often choose their wielder. And I think it's brought up in the show with Ace having like the zombie buckle and one of the magnum buckles, because he says, like, they say something along the lines of, it's to Buffalo, and he says something on the lines of, I know you're not having a good time or you're struggling with that buckle. And that's to be expected because a person using these specific buckles, the buckle chooses a wielder in a sense that like it's meant for them, if that makes sense. I know I'm like all over the place, but I'm trying to like calm my thoughts down here. So basically, he was like on the lines of, I know you're struggling with that buckle because it's hard to use, so I'll make you a deal. I'll trade you the zombie buckle, which I know you're good at using, for the man buckle, which I'm good at using. So it's basically, they were both in the same boat and they was going at each other about it until like he got it back. But yeah, buckles like that choose the wielder, and it's one of the reasons why they're so good at using it. It's because it clicks with them effectively. Like I said, it's like whole wand choosing the wielder type situation. That's why it flew off from Ace and went to him, because it ultimately chose him, and you see how he's doing well with it.
When he opened an opportunity for the other Kamen Riders to kick the can. But this is where our boy would be falling out of the competition as his buckle piece broke. And sadly, this is where his death is kind of in vain.
Well, he didn't die, his core didn't break. He was just too injured. He was too injured to continue. And so he was forcefully taken out because he was way too injured to continue, which is one of the rules. So I believe at the end of this episode, it tells you the rule that if a writer becomes too injured to continue, they're forcefully retired. So it was more of a case study of him being way too injured to the point where it's like, nope, you can't continue.
Because the final boss literally moved the goalpost and is still around. So the game organizers, realizing that the Kamen Riders are going to need a little more help defeating this boss, the game master himself steps in to help, gifting them each an egg, which you can guess it contains a loot box. Nah, I know Ubisoft would be proud right now, saying that the power-ups inside will help them defeat the boss for good. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what this guy was smoking, because what Buffa and Neon got was kind of useless. I mean, boy got a drill and Shawty got a helicopter blade. And when you compare that to what GEATS gets, getting a whole new armor piece, I feel like my boys got the short end of the stick. But bro, the armor piece GEATS get, called the monster armor, is pretty dope. But my favorite part gotta be the belt with a little sleepy monster on it, and he got to wake up so he can get to work. But my boy done put all the power he had to go plus ultra and knock this final boss out for good, letting our Kamen Riders save the day yet again. But that also means that GEATS wins the Grand Prix again, and that means he gets to fulfill his wish, which might be even weirder than the first one, as he wishes the Grand Prix organizers to be his family. And we also learned that the game master also happens to be that butler that I briefly mentioned, that's there when they're in their R&R place. But another charming character having a twist like this, I can't keep taking it, Kamen Rider. Yeah, they might have finished the Grand Prix already, but that doesn't mean they're not going to keep doing it again and again, because as you might be able to tell, GEATS is wishing for small things because he doesn't really want much. The thing he truly wants is to know the truth behind the Grand Prix organizers, as in, what's the truth of the Jamoto? Why did they keep calling the Grand Prix a production and show? How are they even able to fulfill these wishes that people ask for? Well, all that will have to wait for the next time we cover Kamen Rider GEATS. But shout out to my boy Silver Crow for helping me out with the video and coming to Cameo. Check out his channel, he's cool people. We'll be finishing Kamen Rider builds next, so make sure you're subscribed for that, and check out those videos if you haven't.
By the way, Shaman, it's at the end of the video. I'm sorry you got this at the end of the video. Congrats on reaching 50K, man. Yeah, anyways, guys, that's gonna be all for me today. Thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.